Hey, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jessica. I'm a mom blogger. I have two children that I like to vlog about, my 10-year-old daughter and my 2-year-old son. In today's video, we're actually going to be focusing on Lily, who is my 10-year-old daughter. We are currently in a blended family if you're new here, and we have come to a situation that we would really like to talk about and bring in some insight if you have a blended family as well and you still have younger children, or you know, you're just interested in a blended family life. That's fine. So today's topic is pretty much how Lily is getting a little older and it's starting to affect like our blended family. So Lily, I'm gonna explain her schedule real quick and hopefully I can explain it well enough that you understand. But Lily changes houses every other Friday. So this week she's currently with her dad. On Friday she will come back to me and she won't go back to her dad's until the next Friday. So every other Friday she switches. But on the weeks that she's with her dad, that Monday she comes back to my house. On the weeks that I have her, she goes to her dad's on Mondays. So the first thing that I could say that really bothers me about this schedule is because now Lily's getting a little older and it's starting to get in between her schoolwork. She's currently in 5th grade and right now she's in virtual learning. So when she's done her schoolwork, they post all of her stuff by 3:30. On Mondays when she has to go to her dad's or she has to come to me, her schoolwork isn't really up yet and she can't really work on it, or it's just been posted and she only has a couple of minutes to actually work on it. And then by the time she gets home, it's 7 o'clock. And Lily at my house, she goes to bed at 8:30. So she has to rush around, do her homework, eat dinner, get a snack, take a shower, and settle down for the night. So it's starting to become an issue at the point where like she's not getting her stuff done here. I don't know about her dad's house. She has completely different schedules and routines over there. But we really like to stick to our routines all around. I think children really need a stable routine and schedules to keep themselves on point. So Lily has always been on this routine. It's been a couple of years. I did move her to 9 o'clock when she hit 10 years old, but it did not work. She was getting really cranky and stuff like that. But on to like the point that I was getting to, going to her dad's is starting to affect her getting her schoolwork done and getting things done at my house. So either she's gonna have to take it with her or we're gonna have to figure out something else because this is just not working. And it's starting to affect other things other than the fact that we're a blended family. Another thing is, I don't know if you guys have been around for a while, but I've mentioned this in another video, but we have it's lack of co-parenting. We literally do not talk to each other at all unless it's 100% necessary. Like the last time I talked to him about anything was the fact that Lily could possibly have COVID, and then before that, like, we really don't even talk to each other other than the fact that like he'll tell me she's at her grandparents and that's it. Like, I don't talk to him at all because I really have no words for that dude. But when it comes to Lily, I try to inform him of doctor visits, dentist visits, all of that. Like, if he doesn't show up, that's like kind of his problem, but I try to inform him on those things. But like, other than that, we literally don't talk at all. There is no co-parenting. It's just Lily switching houses. And I already mentioned that he has a different routine at his house compared to mine, and he has like no structure compared to me. Lily stays up really late. She has little to none rules. She's allowed to have as much iPad time as she wants. It's a very different setting at his house compared to mine. And I'm also trying to teach her independence where he doesn't do that. He pretty much like babies her, and it's like starting to affect my household because she wants to be babied at my house and she thinks she doesn't have rules here, which she does. But it's very hard to transition back from having no rules, no regulations, no limits at her dad's house to coming to mine where it's a lot stricter. And I'm not saying that I'm completely strict with her, that she has no iPad time, she's not allowed out of the house, stuff like that. I'm saying like she just has to do her chores and be respectful. and she's not, and it's starting to become an issue because she has a really bad attitude now, and I'm not having it. And I've always been like this. I've always tried to teach her to be respectful and be a good person, but it's starting to become an issue, especially now that she's like starting to get a little older and she's getting like her PMS and stuff like that, and her hormones are changing, and I get it, but that's still not reason to be rude and disrespectful to your parents. Another thing is Lillie also lacks a lot of communication with her dad. She doesn't really talk to him or say much to him. Her main communication over there is to talk to her grandma. But her dad pretty much, she's mentioned this a lot, that he pretty much doesn't like talk to her. And when she does talk to him, he doesn't like actually listen to her. When Lillie stresses issues at my house, I like to take it seriously because I don't want her to feel uncomfortable. And I want her to be able to express her feelings and tell me what's wrong with her and be able to help her as much as possible. Well, in my house, like I literally can't do anything about his house. If I mention it or say something to him, he just brushes it off or like gets cocky with me. So I try to help her as much as possible while she's here. If she tells me like the baby's annoying her and won't leave her alone, I try to come up with a solution. I try to give her space when she wants it. It's just very, like I said, it's very different households. So there's no communication between them two, and I think that's starting to become an issue because she also has a younger sister at her dad's house, and I mean, she's older than him. She would like her space, which I mean, at my house she does have her space. And lastly, the only thing that really is starting to affect not only Lillie but us as well, this is like the biggest issue that we have come across so far from being in a blended family, is the fact that we don't want to live in the same area anymore. And I've mentioned this in my vlog, my typical day in the life vlog. I'll leave it linked down below if you would like to watch it. But Anthony and I have decided that we really would like to leave Philadelphia. We just are not city people. We just don't want to live here anymore. And because of Lillie's schedule, it might become an issue where we just cannot leave, and I don't want that anymore. So this is starting to become an issue. And I'm not going to force her to pick a house because that's completely unfair. That is not something I want for her. She should be able to see her dad as much as she wants. But it's going to become an issue later down the line when we decide to move. And I'm not saying we're going like 8 hours away where she can't get to him, but it's going to become an issue where he's going to have to like pick her up from an 1.5-hour drive, and I'm going to have to drop off type of thing. When I was younger, I moved to Gettysburg with my parents, and my parents met halfway through. So it's a 3-hour drive, and they pretty much met in the halfway mark and then went their separate ways afterwards. He's gonna either have to do that or take one trip and I take the other trip, because I'm not gonna do all the driving. This is because like that was an issue when she was younger. He moved out of the city, like he was still in Pennsylvania, but he moved out of the city, and I was doing all the driving back and forth, and one day I just got fed up with it because at that time she was only switching every 3 days. It was like every 48 hours she was going to her dad's, and I was doing all the driving, and I was just getting fed up. So I pretty much just kept her, and he called the cops, and it became an issue. So I'm not trying to revisit those issues later on in the line when I decide to move. And I did mention in that video that hopefully Lillie will have a license and she'll be able to drive herself and get herself to school and all that stuff. But it's just, I don't want to have to be stuck in this area just because her dad is very rude. And he doesn't want to work with me at all. I'm sure a lot of people deal with this as well, that baby daddies are just very difficult to deal with when they're just not getting their way. And that's just how he is. If he doesn't get his way, he starts saying stuff to me about my house and how my house is just not appropriate and stuff like that. So it just really pisses me off, and we used to get into a huge fight and just like don't talk again for like months. But I don't want to deal with that. I just want to move and have a stress-free life and not have to deal with the pettiness of him. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I put a lot of details into this video, and it's very hard to like talk about certain things because I don't want him to like be bringing this stuff up in text message or something and being annoying. I'm just like really tired of dealing with the really petty situations that he keeps putting me in, and I just want to move on with my life and raise my kids in a healthy neighborhood and not have to deal with toxic situations anymore. And as Lily gets older, I'm hoping she understands why we moved and knows that like I don't want to take her away from her dad, but for us and our family, this just isn't the place for us. And even Lily, it's not the place that she should be being raised. It's not a good area. I mean, my area is okay, but it's not what I want for my children, especially her. Like, she's getting older. She doesn't need to be in the city. It's just not a healthy area. So that is what I was getting at. So I hope in the next couple of years this will get a lot easier because she'll be a little older and she'll be able to understand what I'm saying, and we can actually talk about these things and how she feels and actually work through what's going on. But again, I'm not putting any pressure on her to pick a house. I will never do that. If I have to stick to the 1 week there, 1 week here schedule, that's just what we'll do. But to be honest, I hope we get rid of this Monday because it's affecting school. And I'm not saying that Lily has to stay with me when she goes to school and stuff like that. She can go to school down here because I'm still I'm trying to stay at the job that I'm at until I'm fully invested. Again, I spoke about this in my vlog, and there's more details in there of why we want to move and what the plan is, but this is just like why it's going to be difficult to move, especially with being in a blended family. And we have 50-50 custody, so it's not like I could just remove myself from the situation and he sees her like every other weekend or something like that. This is just, she lives at both houses the same amount of time, so it's not like I could just get up and leave. I can't do that. To be honest, I don't want to do that because that's kind of like traumatizing for her as well. And she also has a sister at her dad's house, so I don't want to remove that relationship that she could possibly build with her sister. So yeah, I'm basically torn between this. We want to move, that is our goal, and our children will still be young by the time Lily hits 18, but I don't want to raise my kids in the city anymore. I don't even want them to go to these schools anymore. They're just really bad. There's no good schools in my area at all of them are below a 5. They're just trash. And I don't want to live in the city anymore. It's just, that's pretty much my take on being on a blended family. As your kids get a little bit older, it's starting to put stress on everybody in this situation, pretty much. It's not causing Anthony and I to fight or anything. It's just causing stress because we would like to do what we want to do, but we can't. So yeah, hopefully this gets a little bit better as she gets, like I said, a little bit older. But as of right now, as her 10-year-old self, it's not good at all. If you have any tips on how to help me through the situation, or if you've been through the situation yourself, how did you get through it? I would love to know. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm just trying to find the positive in the situation, and as of right now, it's kind of hard to see. So again, let me know. So yeah, that's my take, and I'm gonna end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave any questions in the comment section down below. I answer every single comment. I'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully it's not as depressing as this one. Bye guys.